Hello everyone and welcome to RaiGurukul.com. I am Deepak Rai and in today's video we are diving deep into the world of HTML with some tips and tricks to make our coding more efficient. In today's video we will not create any code but by using or discussing some tips and tricks will make our website more efficiently. If you wanted to learn more about HTML coding, feel free to refer my HTML playlist here. Let's start with first tip where document structure, which is our first step, is all about establishing a solid foundations for HTML documents. Always starts with document type declarations followed by the essential HTML heads and body elements. This ensures our document is well structured and compliant. So if you can see here, first I have declared document as type HTML and followed by head. So here you can see within head, we have defined title and style if it is needed. And post that here I have declared body and finally closing the HTML. By using these tags, opening and closing properly will help us to make our streamlined web pages and responsive. And even this will not throw an error in terms of response or with the design. So this structure is based or by default structure, but if you want, you can modify it as per your requirement. But this is a syntax. If we are using this proper syntax and document type will help us to create efficient web responsive page. Now, next is let's talk about importance of meta tags, which is a tip number 2. Whenever we are working with any websites, we are always using meta character set. This is helping us to take the special character which we are using during our website. If we are not using this character set and viewport, normally this will not give a responsive design. It's a very crucial for responsive design. So meta tags, if we are using or keeping in practice, definitely this will help us to streamline our website designing. Moving on, tip number 3, that is embrace semantic HTML elements like header, navigations, and main and other add meaning to our code and improve both structure and SEO, that is search engine optimization. So if you can see here in my this code, I used here navigations, main and header, which will creating our navigations menu, then header as well as main menu. Normally, this structure is creating a proper streamlined web pages, and whenever we are having these type of tags, this will be helpful for our responsive design pattern. Now, moving ahead or shifting our focus to responsive design, utilizing CSS and media queries to ensures our website looks great on various devices. Normally, whenever we are declaring any CSS file, either we are using internal or external CSS. But when we have the big CSS file, always it's recommended to use external CSS. So here, if you can see here, I have defined layout.css. That CSS file is externally embedded here. And when you can see this CSS file, the CSS file, every tag is having different structure and style. To do that, normally we are creating a different code and saving into the different file and calling that file or embedding that file into our HTML. This will makes our web page crystal clear without any issues or error. And here you are managing this file into a separate file so that developer, when they are looking the lots of lines of code, they will be able to understand clearly. And by doing that, we are also adding some security label where user cannot directly able to access our design pattern so that we can avoid copyright issues. Now, tip number 5 is all about optimizing images. compress our images to improve page load times without sacrificing the quality. Normally, in most of the websites, we have lot of images and video. Compressing these images will help us to minimize our website page, which will help us to improve load time of any website. Let's consider we have 500 images on one website, which will be a very big website. So compressing these images will help us to improve the response time without affecting the quality. Even sometimes we have to set the height and width of the images so that that will open in the same pattern in every devices, as well as when we are adding this border and all, the border should be common for each of the devices. So these are the tips which we are using at the time of image and video. Now let's talk about tip number 6, that is commenting our code. Normally for commenting our code in CSS we are using this structure, and for HTML pages we are using this type of structure where we are adding exclamation symbol and post that adding 3 lines and then comment. And when we are closing this, we are also defining, you can see, as of now, I did not close. That's the reason rest all pieces becomes and comment. And this is my closing. So by using comment sections, we are categorizing each of the format into the different patterns. Let's say we have 5,000 lines of code and we are reviewing that code or updating that code. If we have the proper comment in place, it will be helpful for any developer to identify the sections. Not only with the updates, this will also help us to understand which tablets or which portions we are using for which category. So adding this comment is better way where we can showcase that this will be for which sections. Next is final tip, that is tip number 7, is validating our HTML pages. Regularly validating our HTMLs is like the W3 consortium validations can ensure our code follows proper syntax and standards. If we are doing that, normally this will help us to create our page proper or make our website proper, and standards should be met. So these are the 7 important tips which we can make sure to create our responsive web pages and designing. If you think so, we should include a few more tips. Please add your opinions in the comment sections. If you have any other tips which you might feel will be important for our viewer, add in your comment sections. And here we have 7 tips and tricks to enhance your HTML coding skills. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Rai Gurukul for more content and hit the notification bell to stay updated. And as I mentioned, if you know any other important tips which will be helpful for the viewer, feel free to add in the comment sections so that they can refer and make the best practice out of it. Thank you for watching. Happy coding.